Hello and welcome to the Path of Least Resistance. I am Dragonsire. Today we're going to go over a run that I did using Spirit Blossom Evelynn against the Baron Nashor. I know it says Spirit Blossom Teemo, it's just so I can look at runes. I haven't unlocked her rune star, so this is a 3-star no epic relics. And just to go over, I want to talk about which runes I would take. Immortality is probably kind of good, because healing is going to be one of your issues. Wild Inspiration also good, you're playing a lot of created cards. Spirit Armor is another one I would take. Spellburn, maybe, but I think it's probably between Spirit Armor and Wild Inspiration, and I think I'd probably go for Wild Inspiration in the rare side. And Fortifications is also very good because it reduces the damage of impact by 1, and that's normally why you take so much damage in this adventure, just getting hit by impact all the time. So if you can avoid doing that, then you know, that is pretty good. And then for a legendary, if you were to use it, I would use Thieves in the Night, but I don't know that that is actually a good call, because you are often trading their units into their own units so that you can remove them from the board. I guess if you could just win, that would be fine, but I'm not sure that you would be strong enough to actually pull that off, but I don't know, it's something that you could try. I think I would go with either Fortifications or Wild Inspiration. But that's just a start. Since we're looking at like a pre-recorded run that I did, I'm not going to be able to go into the menu and change things around. So there's not going to be a way for me to show any of this. So, like I said, it is a 3-star Evelynn run. And for Relics, I decided to go with Arcane Comet, Grand General's Counterplan, and Chemtech Duplicator. And I think this was either my first or second attempt at this. I tried a lot with Spirit Blossom Teemo and I didn't have much success, and then I tried with Spirit Blossom Yasuo and didn't have much success. And then I tried with Ari, which I think is maybe close to okay, but I wasn't able to complete it with her either. So I don't know. There might be better strategies. I also think Master Yi might be the best, and I didn't try Kindred either. So I still have those up in the air. Master Yi has a way of healing with Practice Makes Perfect, so, and that's his champion spell, so as long as you get him on the board, I think he probably wins pretty well. But since I unlocked more stars, I didn't have him at 3 stars, so I went with Spirit Blossom Evelynn instead. And so, let's go over the run. Like I said, Relics, Arcane Comet, Grand General's Counterplan, and Chemtech Duplicator. The idea is to make your unit big, steal theirs, and then run their units into each other. And then on top of that, you have the option to remove them with Arcane Comet for an Obliterate. And it does take a lot of mana to do it, but you have Chemtech Duplicator, so that beats Spell Shield. You also have a way to get rid of Elder Dragon because of Arcane Comet. Anyway, we take Clear Mind here because we need the mana. And we go into Gem Dragon because we have to. Gem Dragon's usually not that impactful. You can take damage from impact, but generally speaking it's fine. Sometimes you'll take maybe 20 damage by the end of it. So you always skip turn 1. On turn 2 you want to play a unit to block, and if you have something like Bewitch, that's really nice to steal their unit. Otherwise, yeah, you're not really doing much else, so. I also like keeping their Divine Clerk alive, so that you can steal it and then get their lifesteal effect to heal yourself up. And then whenever we steal one of their units, if we can't kill it into one of their units, we do want to do something like the Mark of the Isles, or Crumble if we get access to it, something like that. Something where we're killing it, or we could override it with one of our own units if we had more units, but that's typically doesn't happen. So we gave their guy back there, and we should have marked up the Isles there. I think I saved it so that I could use it on the Divine Cleric later to get more life, but I don't know that that was a good plan. Beckon, I think I didn't use effectively in this run. I think I forgot the conditions to create it because I hadn't played Evelynn in a while, and I just didn't do well with it. So here we stole their guy, and we're using Mark of the Isles, and then that also creates units so that we can block. You can see we're just getting chipped down from that impact damage, which is why I think Fortifications is pretty good. But also being able to reduce the cost of Beckon and also the created Evelynn spell, Spirit's Embrace, is, I think, really strong. But see here, we're just making our Evelynn huge so that we can take any of their units, and then of course we steal their lifesteal unit so that we can heal up. And here I decided not to kill it so that I could use it for lifesteal later. Here is, I mean, looks pretty scary, but we have Beckon in hand and also Falling Comet. So we get rid of the Overwhelm unit, and then charm the other Overwhelm unit. If they didn't attack here, I probably would have played Last Supplicant there, so that we could kill their Wyvern, and then we wouldn't have to deal with it in the future. Or Fated Supplicant, I guess is its name. Not sure why I didn't play it after, actually. So here I Spirit's Embrace to get the Cleric low enough to use the Occult Opportunist and switch it over to our side. So now it's just ours forever. And we can use Spirit's Embrace on it to heal it up, and then we just have a constant source of lifesteal, so we're not worried about losing anymore. This is a run where I think more than usual. Normally I kind of play by vibes, but because I'm not super familiar with Spirit Blossom Evelynn, and also knowing when and how to make your trades is really important, I think it just took me a lot longer to actually figure out what I wanted to do. But yeah, that's the basic plan there. We steal their units, use them against them, and if they have lifesteal, even better. You will need some form of lifesteal. Maybe you don't if you have fortifications, but otherwise you will. So, as you can see there, I did something unusual for me. Normally, I never spend rerolls on battle rewards. That is super unusual for me. But I saw nothing here that I wanted, so I thought it was pretty important to try to get something a little bit better. And so I spent a reroll. I also had 4 rerolls, so it wasn't too bad. And I end up taking Wild Mysticism because it's extra mana. It also summons a unit so that we have a blocker. And at the support, I get really lucky here and Shen exists. So I take that because Spirit Refuge gives us a source of lifesteal, and that scales with whatever we steal, or if we're growing our units bigger from whatever, we just can give it lifesteal directly so we can heal to full. Unscarred Reaver, I feel, is much easier than the other options. I think going down on this path is just so much safer than going up. Here we're playing a blocker and stunning. Because Eclipse Dragon is insane, and I think this way is just easier. Even though these units grow, they start with like really low power. So for example, if we never to interact with the Unscarred Reaver, I think that's what that one is, then we never, it just stays at 0 power until they drop Tarkaz. So I've found that I can beat this usually at a high hit point value fairly frequently. So, and the other way I find that I lose the game. So this has been really good to me, so I take this path even though these units can grow. And so here I'm targeting the one that can't grow. And Shen also has Focusing Crystal, which is extra nice because that gives us a way to make him get bigger, and then we can play Spirit Refuge on him once he's big enough to full heal us. And then we're not as worried about blocks and that kind of thing. So as soon as Tarkaz is down, he's a problem. We steal him so he doesn't grow their units. And then we drop Shadow Swindler because it got big. Falling Comet, the biggest thing with Overwhelm. You can also aim at things with Challenger if they have multiples of those. And I should have marked up the Isles on Tarkaz, but I didn't, so. When you play Spirit's Embrace, you do want to start looking for ways to get things low enough to kill either from your own unit's damage or stolen unit's damage. So you don't, you kind of, there are break points, I guess, in how much life you want them to have. And here I'm trying to set up a good attack. And doing a little damage to the Unscarred Reaver is fine. Should have beckoned before we Falling Comet there. Having some like issues where I'm coughing, so I'm like muting and unmuting. See there, we could have beckoned, but I think I just didn't know I had it. Because obviously I should have just played Beckon. I should also be playing it here. Although there's nothing really good to steal here. I think the Spirit Refuge is fine if we're winning the game here, and we can because we have the triple challenger. Otherwise, I would probably hold it till later. Anyway, without Spirit's Refuge, we would have been at like 25 hit points or something, which still isn't that bad, and if you had Fortifications, you'd probably be around like 30, 32. I think about Soul Cleave because having 2 copies of a unit is pretty good. It would double Chemtech. The problem is that they're ephemeral units, so we might not have a chance to actually get to use it very well. And then I was going to take Twin Disciplines, but I figured just straight being able to recall a unit was good, and since we're using Clear Your Mind anyway, we have access to a lot of mana really early, so it's a 6 cost recall, which isn't great, but it still felt like the best option at the time. And we go into Kindly Tavernkeeper. Kindly Tavernkeeper is really hard, actually, because they get so much mana so fast. And we always skip on 1 to trigger that Clear Your Mind. It's less important on Kindly Tavernkeeper because you get an extra mana gem every round anyway. And then I play Wild Mysticism to get a unit on the board. I think it would also be fine to play Shen here. Not sure why I didn't. Not sure what I was trying to draw into. But we took half our health and damage for not playing the other unit, which I don't understand the reasoning. I think I should have played Shen there. Play it now, and then follow it up with Evelynn. Shadow Swindler, I think just to have a 3rd blocker on the board. And we're looking for ways to, again, effectively remove their hit points so we can kill them. So I target anything basically and cast Spirit's Embrace, and then you can see I'm just thinking about like the best way to approach this. I definitely should be barriering something so that Shen can get closer to his level up, and so I end up doing it on the Shadow Swindler, which I don't think I needed to. I think I could have attacked with Evelynn. Maybe I decided not to because it didn't matter anyway, since they all have regeneration, but I don't know. That was a weird choice. Beckoning Gaze to steal their biggest unit. And they do have a Challenger, which is always somewhat frightening. They make their guys bigger with Avalanche. And since I can't replay the Scarmother, Windsinger is fine here. It also gives us an extra blocker where Arcane Comet does not.
Nature defies nature.
Understood.
Hi there.
Full block because I don't want to die. It looks like their stolen unit doesn't get back all their hit points. They do get some from the creep power, which just gives them +4 hit points, and that's why he went up to 6 instead of 2, but we were still able to remove it. I think it would actually be better to Arcane Comet here rather than Spirit's Embrace, because there's not a good target to Spirit's Embrace into. I wonder if I figured that out. Beckoning Gaze is also fine here, actually. We could have beckoned the kindly Tavernkeeper and thrown it into the Bull Nook. But just removing it is fine too. It costs the same amount of mana and we keep the beckon for next round. If they were to open attack there, that would have been probably the worst scenario. We steal their Scarmother, and we pass to give them the opportunity to attack. I think I wanted to Spirit Refuge here, but since they did Caught in the Cold, I wasn't able to. And we stun with Bewitch. Should have blocked with a Scarmother and Mark of the Isles. I got better the longer I played the deck. And because of the Bewitch, we get their unit. Falling Comet on the Bone Scryer because we don't want to take damage when we challenge it. I don't know why I would ever aim Spirit's Refuge at Evelynn. That doesn't make any sense to me, but looked like I tried. And we're doing this just to get both of their units pretty low. Because of the Spirit's Refuge, we get most of our life back. And we faded Supplicant to steal. Falling Comet. Probably would have been better to Falling Comet the Avarosan because then now they can draw. Whereas before they could not. And we still would have been able to block the Overwhelm unit. The Mighty Poro. Wouldn't have been any problem at all. So I think that was a mistake, we just gave them units for no reason. Falling Comet the Bone Scryer again, so we don't take damage. And then I think we can win here. Withering Whale first, for the hit points. For example, we could have beckoned as well. But, I mean, this was fine. I take Facebreaker here, it's not even a choice. Double stun is incredible. And champion item chest could be anything, but Chamber of Renewal is definitely Spell Shield. We do want Spell Shield so that we can stay on the board. It saves us from so many things. I think it's important to get Spell Shield if you ever need your champion on the board, no matter what you're playing. It is also pretty commonly offered, though. Not sure what card I got rid of there, actually. Let me go back and look. I'm so bad at moving around. Oh, I got rid of Key Guardian. I'm fine with that. I think maybe Windsinger would also be a better removal, but Key Guardian, I don't know, it drew 2 cards, so it was okay. But also kind of just like, it's not a card you get a super amount of value out of, I don't feel. The barrier doesn't matter that much. So we pass. And passing here is kind of scary, because they already have a ton of damage on board. But they'll probably play a card, and then you can stun into that. So you have the option of Facebreaker, or you have Wild Mysticism. You also have Unit plus Bewitch, which I assume is what I'm doing here. And that's a bad block, and I realize it, and then I move him over, and now it's a good block. Could Mark of the Isles and block extra guys as well, but we're also going to steal their guy next round, so it might be worth saving it. These are the thoughts that go through my head. You pass because Horned Swarm Caller could come down, and you don't want to just have your unit instantly die. I don't know the right thing to do here. I'm watching this and I don't know the right thing to do here. And I played it and I still don't know. We do want to get this guy killed and something else killed. Okay, so it looks like I'm going after the Herald of Dragons. If you kill the Herald of Dragons, it does slow down their time to drop Elder Dragons, so that tends to be pretty helpful. And do I actually Mark of the Isles here? Cool. I finally figured it out. Mark of the Isles to get rid of their guy so it doesn't get returned to them. And possibly because they didn't play Cloud Drakes. And we got rid of one of their heralds, they're not able to drop Elder Dragon here. Facebreaker is of course good, because we have Chemtech Duplicator, so it'll hit through that spell shield. And we're just trying to get the Overwhelm units and the Challenger units. Getting rid of Spell Shield is a nice bonus as well. I might have been able to coin an Arcane Comet here. And I didn't do that, but I think that would have been a better choice. I don't think it would have been a better choice, it would have been a better choice. But they decided not to attack me, which I'm super happy about. The more they attack, you know, the closer Elder Dragon gets to being impossible to remove. Unstoppable. Should drop Shen. Just to be clear, this is what I should do here. I think Shen and Falling Comet are the call. Not sure what the thought process is to play anything else. Oh, I see. I wanted a passing move so that I could Falling Comet on Elder Dragon, because the me that played this knew that that was going to come down. I think we should still could have played Shen as our passing move. It would have been a better passing move too. You are able to attack here. I don't know if stealing the Deathless unit is correct, but I'm sure it's fine. Could have attacked with Barrier, there was no reason not to. And could have attacked with the Elusive on top of that. And could have played an extra unit, or attacked with something and even killed it, just to get it off of our board. Although that would trigger Fury, which isn't necessarily good, but now we have Beckon in hand and we can't play it. So that's, I think, a little bit of a mistake here. Steal their Deathless. My plan was to get it killed, but obviously there's nothing here that can kill it. So, not a great plan. I think this block is good. And we have some mana left over. We could Spirit Refuge, but I think it's a little premature for that. So I do end up just making it so Shen lives. And I think that was a good call. And I think from here on out, we're always going to want to pass because they're going to keep dropping Elder Dragon until he actually, you know, gets down forever. So I Spirit Embrace the thing without Deathless, still thinking I could steal the Deathless. And attacking here is reasonable, I think. Cult Opportunist is good, but we didn't give ourselves the ability to Falling Comet by playing that. So I think that's a little bit of a mistake. Could attack into Elder Dragon there just to reduce its hit points, which means we can steal it with Evelynn later if we want. And we are killing their units. And see here, if I'm not attacking with everything else, then that is very foolish. Because the Cold Opportunist can't block.
Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
And we could have just done an extra 17 damage for free. So I do this a lot, actually, where I miss opportunities to attack with Challenger, or I don't attack with the full board because I'm in a position where I feel safe now, and it's just a mistake. It's like continually losing opportunities that would otherwise win the game faster, and yeah, it's just a problem. Fortunately, we're watching it back, so we can learn from my mistakes. Here, I should back in and then attack. Actually, that worked fine too. That wasn't bad. Would have had like +1 damage on back in, but that's not a big deal. Not that critical of that. Take -1 cost on Evelynn here. I think it's fine. I don't think it matters much either way. Beige probably would have been okay. We still have a lot of mana from Clear Mind, so. I don't know how I feel about Be Right Back. I think it would be okay to take it. And I think if I saw it again on like the last roll, I would have taken it, but just double mana gem is so good. Then we go into Frostcoat Cub, which I think you have to because Ocean Drake can auto-kill you just from the Deluge stacking up damage, and then you just get hit with something random and then you die. But Frostcoat Cub is super scary because it grows every round, and it grows like faster than you can actually deal with. So yeah. I play Wild Mysticism here so that I have that extra blocker. It also gives us the extra mana gem, and then I make sure that I have nothing on my board for the Clear Mind. And so I think that was a fine exchange. Drop Evelynn. Yeah, Frostbitten, but it's fine. And we need a large board to go into the next round, otherwise we're probably dead. If they just open attack, we lose the game, so that is definitely something to consider. Could have beckoned here. I don't think we would have gotten rid of 2 units regardless, but we might have gotten it into Spirit Embrace range or Withering Wail range. And of course we drop the whatever that guy's called, so that we have that extra blocker. Base Breaker is super good. I think I was right the first time and stunned the 2 Overwhelm units, and then Beckoning Gaze on the larger unit, but this is fine too. Dealing the Puff Cat Pup, because he's pretty big, is not bad. I don't know what I would do here. I think Falling Comet's pretty good on the new unit that they played. Okay, yeah, that's what I end up doing. You obviously block everything here. We should block the Overwhelm with the 13. And don't know why I didn't do that. That's a huge error. We used Spirit's Embrace kind of poorly, or Spirit Refuge kind of poorly there, just to keep Evelynn alive. I think we could have even just played a new Evelynn, and it would have been fine. I think we had better options. But yeah, I took extra damage there for no reason. Not sure. I'm usually better at that. Want to get big enough to steal their units.
Enforced equilibrium.
And we're kind of just attacking into anything here. Again, great opportunity to use Beckoning Gaze. I think we could have gotten rid of an extra unit there. Holding it for the next round, I don't hate either. I just literally don't think I knew it was in my hand. So we're beckoning on the Overwhelm unit, Face Breaker, the next 2 biggest. Okay, so we got an Overwhelm and a Challenger. Probably use Coin here, and then Falling Comet on the Puff Cat Pup. I like seeing if I did what I think I should do. Yeah, so I'm happy with that, because it's what I said I wanted to do. And we block, and we should block again. I think it would have been better if we blocked with Shen there. And used Spirit's Embrace on him just to grow him, and then our Evelynn would still have health so that we could keep challenging. I think that was a bad exchange.
So I go.
This is also a mistake, because I give their guy barrier, which, I mean, is fine because we do kill their thing, but now we don't get the unit on our side from the Deathless. And we could have attacked with Evelynn also, even though she wouldn't have removed their unit. It still would have been better than just giving it back to them. Here, I think I'm gonna die. Because they dropped a giant Overwhelm unit, they have a bunch of challengers. So, yeah, I was a little terrified at this point. I don't know why I didn't... why I thought the Wolf was the better thing. And they don't attack there, which is super weird. I'm fine with it, obviously. Worked out great for me. But bad plan, for sure. So we're judging life. We realize that we can Spirit Embrace, and then Evelynn can challenge. Attack with Shen to remove one of their guys. Baited Supplicant to trade out. I think I thought about taking their Deathless unit, and I'm not sure why I didn't. I don't know what the thought process was there. It was fine either way though, as long as we get rid of it. So Beckoning Gaze should be on the Puffcap Pup here, so that we don't get Puffcaps in our deck. And of course we block with the Pup, and blocking with Evelynn is fine because we have more in our hand. We can just replay. And it wasn't that big of a loss of life anyway. We were pretty low on health. This I was afraid of because I'm used to them using it on cards with Overwhelm, and it just wasn't anything to worry about there.
I sense an imbalance.
Overall, like, see here we missed 6 damage for literally no reason. So that's kind of the biggest mistakes that I've been making, and I don't know why. It's so obvious looking back on it, but I was playing for a while at this point, so maybe I was just dumb. But seems pretty obvious and an unforced error. And always use your mana to try to grow your Evelynn bigger. I don't know what we're waiting for.
So I go.
Okay, I guess I realize I can just win the game. And you get hit with Frostbite. This was a weird choice. I remember doing that, and I had like a reasoning for it, but I don't know what that reasoning was. Weird choice, just leave that guy alive. Didn't have to. I would have Arcane Comet the messenger, and then not gazed at all until they played their next card. I don't know, weird choice. I don't know what I would do here. Okay, Wild Mysticism just puts units on the board. We can attack with everything and win the game. Don't have to Falling Comet. They have no cards. They can't stop us.
I find them unworthy.
A lot of questionable choices in that round. A lot of missed opportunities too. But, I mean, overall it worked, so I guess we just be happy about it. Go to the healer to remove a card. Less cards we have is kind of good. We want to have, like, always access to Facebreaker and Evelynn and Spirit's Refuge. Thought about removing Withering Wail, but I went with Windsinger instead. Not sure why. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Here, I thought about Fuse's Lit. I think it would have made Spirit's Embrace do more damage. And we end up with Officer Backup, which is a mistake, because now we have an Officer to start, which means there's a unit on board, so we have to kill it for Clear Your Mind. But it's fine, because everything has Vulnerable. Shouldn't really be a problem. We can actually also use it with Fated Supplicant. So, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. We just have to remember to get rid of it every time. And we don't here. So that set us back 2 mana gems. And I think I realized it right here, and that's why I'm taking so long. And here, if I Facebreaker, you know what happens? I get set back 2 mana gems. So we pass, they attack, we block and bewitch. And then we get our 2 mana gems that we wanted, which gets us into Chemtech. So obviously what you do here is you play Evelynn. I thought about playing Shen, because if he's on the board then he can start growing with the focusing crystal. And instead I do nothing. Not sure why. Not sure what possessed me to do absolutely nothing. I don't know if I was afraid of an avalanche. I don't know if I was afraid of like it that stares. I also Beckoning Gaze a thing with Spell Shield. So, you know, not good. Weird choices. So play Shen now. So he can grow. There's the It That Stares. Drop your Evelynn. Get hit with Caught in the Cold, it's fine. Can't Fated Supplicant. Could if you Withering Wail first. That'll get us 6 hit points and 2 units on the board. We actually got 3 units because one of them created another unit. Fated Supplicant to steal one of theirs. Which one to steal is interesting. I think the Thralls look the best. But I'm not sure if I can get any of them killed. We do get +2 damage though, so it ends up working out. And we do have to mark up the Isles to make sure that it is dead on both sides. Because we messed up in the beginning for some reason. Again, I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, I do know what happened. My wife called me, and then I forgot what I was doing. And I'm also killing an extra unit here, so that it's off the board so we can use Beckoning Gaze. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Alright, so easy, right? You Beckoning Gaze and you Falling Comet. You actually also have Whale, and that'll get rid of the 12 Overwhelm unit, which actually might be the best way to go. A Spirit's Embrace, okay. And the reason for that is to follow it up with Whale? Doing nothing's fine, I guess. If they attacked, we could Whale at fast speed anyway. Not that big of a deal. And this is another mistake. We could have blocked the 4 hit point unit and just reduced it a little bit more in Mark of the Isles and killed it. Falling Comet.
I find them unworthy.
Nice easy attack here. Not sure why I'm checking their hit points. I did attack with everything that time, so that's a win. Should Mark of the Isles here too. Good. And use Spirit's Embrace just to use your mana up. You don't want to fill your board, so you can't play the Shadow Swindler. Stormbringer is fine here. Gets rid of all our weak units, we still have our strong ones. Shadow Swindler to draw a card, also it's a good passing move. Shen dies here. We have another one in hand, but I decide to Spirit's Embrace, I think. Yeah, I checked how much damage it would deal. And then Spirit's Embrace our own guy because he's going to die anyway. And then we grow Shen. I think that was fine. We had Barrier. We needed to. And I think I kill my unit here too. Just in preparation for anything that could occur. So obviously we open attack here with Spirit Refuge.
I sense an imbalance.
I actually did it. Amazing. I'm so proud of me right now.
They are under my protection.
We get all our hit points back. Except we don't, because we get hit with a Frostbite. I was really sad when that happened. And we start using Arcane Comet because it can get rid of landmarks as well. Steal our hit points. Could also just barrier. Oh, I decided to just let it happen. Play a new Evelynn, because that's the least costly thing to do. And then we can still get that Falling Comet effect. We also refresh Spell Shield so we don't have to keep dealing with taking damage. I feel like this is all taking longer than it needs to, but it's fine. Draklorn comes down. We can Spirit Embrace, but then we can't quite steal it with the Occult Opportunist unless we play the coin. Do I figure out that I can do that? I do. No, don't Spirit Embrace it again, trade it.
I find them unworthy.
Why? Who listened to you?
That was terrible. Why? Okay, we trade it now. Then we Falling Comet, sure. We probably want to stall until we get our other Spirit Refuge. I think I tried doing that and it doesn't happen. So if you want to skip ahead to the next fight, there are timestamps on the bottom. Nothing else interesting is going to happen. But that's why I'm not killing them here.
See what's
I'm just holding off.
scream for me.
I mean, we could at least Withering Wail if our goal is to get some hit points, although saving it for later probably not that bad of an idea.
That was hot.
And I do pick up a unit with lifesteal.
Scream for me.
I think it probably would have been okay to Beckoning Gaze them, actually. Or just steal their hit points and feed the Ghostly Paramour. I'm only attacking with the Paramour so I can get hit points. Auto remove that guy. Yeah, this is just a bunch of stalling. Wonder when I get bored. That's always a thing that happens.
Scream for me.
I first think I could get full hit points here, then I'm like, I'm bored. And then I just killed the enemy instead.
That was hot.
The more they stock cards, the more I'm afraid.
That's it.
Because I can always deal with one thing that comes out. I can't deal with several. And one of the problems is our hand is full here, so even if we were to draw Spirit Refuge, it would be overridden by the Grand General's Counterplan and the Falling Comet, so we actually need to get 2 cards out of our deck. Or out of our hand, rather. There are ways to do that, this being one of them. I don't think I realized I had to do it twice. Maybe I don't? I feel like I do.
That was hot.
Yeah, see, we burnt the card there. We correctly identified that I needed to play an extra card. Didn't identify how many times we had to play that extra card. Actually, using the fleeting copies is worse than using the non-fleeting copies here. And I did that for the 2 draw. Was hoping to draw into Spirit Refuge. And then here I give up. We use Stand United to give that barrier, which will give us a bunch of extra damage because of Shen's level. And then we attack him with the game. And we're close to full life there. I think after a regen we'll be at full life. Like I said, nothing interesting happened after the point where we cleared everything out. Draklorn Inquisitor is one of the easier fights, fortunately. I don't want Grifter's deck on Spirit Embrace, so I take the Occultist. I think my plan is to just remove it from my deck too. Passage Unearned would be cool if you could play it on round 1. I think you could get rid of Baron Nashor. Which maybe isn't that important. Take Phantom Pranks just because it's offered. There's no other reason for it. It doesn't hurt us in any way. And I actually really like my deck here. I think it's solid. We got rid of Wild Mysticism because we get so much mana anyway, we don't actually need it. I don't think it would have necessarily hurt to keep either, but drawing into Facebreaker is pretty good. And then I instantly get rid of it. Cool. I think I wanted to make sure I got Evelynn in hand. So we can kill our guy to charm Baron Nashor here.
If I can save a life, I must.
I think I'm deciding how long I'm allowed to wait.
On foot.
Not sure what the plan was here.
I was born in Velvet. I cannot leave.
I know we had to get rid of the units at the end. I just don't know why I played an extra one. Maybe I wanted to draw a Facebreaker? I don't know. We could drop Shen, he has barrier. So he'll survive. We can also Beckoning Gaze. So Beckoning Gaze on Baron Nashor is really interesting because when he strikes, you get cost reduction on Beckoning Gaze, and he strikes the entire board. So my plan, and I didn't realize that at the time, also not sure why I played that. I think I thought that I could trade with Void Lane, but I really have no idea why I played that. That doesn't make any sense at all. So anyway, my plan is steal Baron Nashor and have him slowly deplete himself on my opponent's board. Don't do that. Just steal Baron Nashor. What do you do?
I'm game for anything. Another flame.
Like I said, I don't think I knew how Beckoning Gaze worked at the time. But we dropped Fated Supplicant to steal. Maybe that was my plan the whole time. Take one of their units, attack with it, and then take their Baron Nashor with our Fated Supplicant. So my plan is to, I've said this 3 times now, steal him, have him clear out the board. As he dies, we can just stop stealing him, and then we win by just attacking him and finishing him off. That's the idea. And for the rest of the game, all I'm going to be doing is stealing Baron Nashor and letting him attack, and that's what's going to happen for the next, looks like 13 minutes. So if you wanted to tune out, that would be a good time. Otherwise, enjoy me playing like 2 cards around until that time. So I don't know what my plan is here. Okay, Spirit Embrace, and then we still have enough mana to Beckoning Gaze.
Scream for me. That's it.
I could have also attacked with Nashor, and I don't know why I didn't. Probably the same reason I haven't been attacking just in general. I'm more focused on surviving than I am about doing things that are smart. I don't know. So if you were to redo this run, you could do it much better than I did, and it was still a super smooth run, so I think you'll have a good time. I think Elder Dragon's still going to be your only wall, and then of course if you don't find a good source of lifesteal, because I relied on that pretty heavily.
Scream for me.
I think at times I did want them to play a card first. They kill Shen here, and it's really sad because I never find him again. They also kill Evelynn, but I'm less sad about that because we can just replay. We always have more in hand. Also, you know, play the fleeting one, not the non-fleeting one. We do have enough mana for Beckoning Gaze, which we should definitely play. We actually don't even have to do anything else. We could just Beckoning Gaze here.
I love it when they scream.
I think I didn't attack there so that Baron Nashor could take more damage from their units. I don't think that was like a misplay. I think I thought about it and chose to do that on purpose.
That was hot.
I mean, it might still have been a misplay, but I did it on purpose at least. And of course we could always obliterate him. There's just no reason to when we can steal him every round. And at this point I start using Spirit Embrace, which, I don't know, man. It's a choice. It's just such a slow way to do anything. Attack with everything, get our unit killed. But we do damage to the Nexus in case we have to win that way. We're never going to run out of cards because we have Grand General's Counterplan and Chemtech Duplicator. Stealing their guy was fine there. And then we Beckoning Gaze. Then that guy kills everything. They get him back. So we are worried about the open attacks if they get him back and then they decide to open attack. But that's not happening here, so it's fine. We also have the elusive guy. The Kinku Life something? Life Blade? Stuff. Okay, so we're stealing from Baron to feed our Kinku. I think that's a good plan. Again, my goal is still to eventually return him to their deck, or to their side, and then just finish it off once it's at low enough hit points. If we had kept our Shen on board, that would have been how we did that. But our Shen disappeared, so that is not what's going to happen. And we always attack to give them a chance to play their cards. And then we steal. And then he strikes. Then we repeat. I was curious the whole time what would happen if we Mark of the Isles, if he would die before he turned back to their side, but since he can't actually be killed by anything except for damage, I'm not sure that would have done anything. I just don't actually know. Also, the more we play this spell, the less chance we have of ever drawing Shen again. And I realize that at some point, but there's nothing I can do because there are just too many cards in my hand. we always have to end the round with him on our side.
Let's get to blasting.
But we're fine opening up space otherwise. Here I was just looking for ways to speed this up, and I don't think I ever found any. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of Spirit's Embrace and Beckoning Gaze for the rest of... We are up to 7 more minutes of this.
That's it. That was hot.
So they do an open attack here, which again is the thing we're most afraid of. We do have Bewitch in hand, and my game went really weird there for a second. So we Bewitch, and we block, and we steal life. I think this is where the weirdness happens. So I Beckoning Gaze after I Bewitch, and so it returns to their side, but now it's on my side forever. I don't realize this at first, but I think the double charm made it trade sides. So I think I'm trying to figure out what happened, because I've been doing this for a while, and I didn't think that he was supposed to be on my side. But he was actually supposed to be on my side because I used Bewitch, I think. I don't know. Things got weird. And I'm still trying to reduce his health to feed him off. But at this point I could just pass like 10 times in a row and... Well, no, I still have to finish off their entire Nexus. Also, you can never kill all the minions, I don't think. Because they just get them in their hand. So even if you were to obliterate each one because they have Shadow Totem on them, I don't think you can obliterate fast enough. But yeah, so I think at this point I'm still thinking he might go back to their side, because I didn't realize what happened. That's why I'm hovering over it. I'm like, why? Why? But I also think because it was weird that I did decide that we would have to kill the Nexus, so I'm doing that. And since I have to do 999 damage, it did seem important to draw Shen, so I kept trying to make space in my hand to do that. Honestly, you could skip to the end here. Nothing interesting happens from here on out. At this point I realized he's on my side forever. So the smart thing to do would be end around attack, and then just keep doing that. But I did want Shen in hand, so I took extra time playing like Spirit's Embrace and things like that. I think I also start stealing health and feeding it to Baron Nashor because I thought he might die, and I didn't want that to happen since he does so much damage, and he's our main way of actually killing the enemy Nexus. I did also open attack a lot, which maybe I shouldn't have, so I could have taken their units, but their units kind of suck anyway, so it's just minions. Their whole hand ends up getting filled with minions. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Like I definitely... Yeah, see, this is trying to make more space in my hand. And this is before I realized. Yeah, so I don't play Spirit's Embrace there because I think I figured out. Nope, not quite yet. Eventually I'll figure out that it just keeps adding cards into my hand, or into my deck that are Evelynn. And that's never gonna draw anything but Evelynn at a certain point.
That was hot. I love it when they scream.
Maybe this is the part where I gave up? Nope, not yet.
Other than play,
3 more minutes.
that was hot.
Aw, even Arcane Comet did. That's cute.
That's it.
Again, just pass attack.
Scream for me.
That would be the correct thing to do.
That was hot. Yes, I bite. That's it.
So, yeah, we got to the point where I figured it out.
I love it when they
We're never gonna get through all our Evelynns. Just kill the Nexus. Baron has 81 hit points. It's gonna take him a long time to die.
scream and play. That's it.
And I dropped Fated Supplicant just because it has a bunch of power. So it'll help me get through the Nexus faster.
That's it. Harder. Okay.
Attack, pass, attack, pass. Like I said, their whole hand is filled with minions. They'll never draw another card again.
Scream for me. Yes, I bite. That's it. That was hot. I love it when they scream.
And we win! So yeah, that run was pretty smooth, obviously off the back of having Shen's lifesteal, and with focusing Crystal so that I could improve his power. That helped a lot. I'm not sure what this looks like without, but I'm also not using a rune here. So you could use a rune and then that would make your game either faster, or you could use Fortifications and have less damage taken every round. And those are things that I did not do, and they would all probably help very much. Or you could use the +0/+3 power, which gives you more opportunity to block. It also makes Evelynn easier to steal their units because the parity is better between your health and theirs. Anyway, that is that run. I felt that it went really well. I would probably do it again if I had to. I don't think that it would take more than a couple of tries to get right. I didn't even use a revive there, even against the Frostcoat Cub, which looked like I definitely should have used a revive because of how poorly I played it. Also, I played poorly like the entire time because I forgot how Beckoning Gaze worked at all. And then on top of that, I just wasn't challenging very well or taking advantage of all of the attacks that I had available to me to do that extra damage. So you could do it better. Things that were lucky were Facebreaker. Facebreaker is incredible. There's another two target stun. I don't know what it's called. I think it's in Noxus though. So if you pick up something like that, that would help as well. I think Facebreaker shut up because we got Shen, who's Ionia. So I don't know. Try to get Shen or maybe Yasuo, which would give you Concussive Palm. But Elder Dragon, I think, is going to be the biggest problem. He usually is. Anyway, that is all for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. And now that we've done all of these, we'll start doing the 5 stars, and then a couple 4 stars, and then we'll go back to 6 stars, trying it with different champions. Yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.